Hi, crew. My name is Brian Mahoney, and I'll be your host for the Momiji Healthcare Society's podcast, Momiji Tea and Memories. Think of me as your captain. I will guide our ship, the Momiji Maru, on a voyage through the sea of memories that our guests have shared with us. These stories are often touching, sometimes funny, but also quite sad now and then. Our guests discuss topics of displacement, internment, racial tension, and violence. Viewer discretion is advised. Our guests today are Claire Nakamura and her son Ken. In this episode, two movies are mentioned. The first is We're No Angels from 1989, and the cast included Sean Penn, Demi Moore, and Robert De Niro. The second is The War Between Us, a Canadian production from 1995, starring Mieko Uchi, Shannon Lawson, and Robert Wisden. I love Claire's description of Japantown, complete with baths and towels for 10 cents for two. The word hakugen is a Japanese word for a white person, referring to someone who threw a smoke bomb. Listen carefully. There is a lot of Japanese-Canadian history here. For me, it's a privilege to be able to share this with you.
Why don't we just start off? Len told me that you grew up in BC, right?
Right.
How was that like?
Well, I was born in a logging camp called Stave Falls. And I was just telling my son that was later in 1960 something. It was made into a movie.
Really?
Oh, wow. Yes, Sean Penn. And they took that background and made it into a movie.
Wow.
And when my husband and I went out that way, he drove us there, and it was just a logging camp, you know, how the log floats on the river. And I thought, oh, is this all? But it was quite a movie, I guess. I don't remember it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'll have to look for it.
How long did you live in BC?
Yeah, how long till the war, I guess.
You were born in 23.
It was, huh?
You were born in 23.
23,
and
yeah.
then you got intern in 41.
So 23 until the war.
Yeah.
Good part of your childhood, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. BC's beautiful, eh?
Yeah, it's not too much where I grew up. It's a Japanese town, they call it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it had everything that the Japanese required. Like it had ofuro, which is a bath, and for 10 cents you get towels, 2 towels, one for drying, one for washing, and there's a great big tub that you could just soak.
Oh, it's so nice, eh?
We used to swim in there. But then they had outside where you scoop the hot water and wash yourself before you go in. So, yeah,
That's
that
very
was
nice.
it.
Oh, that's super nice.
Well, were you living with any family in BC?
Any family?
Yeah. Like your parents or siblings?
Ken was born here. Yeah, I had one brother and one sister, and mom and dad.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's nice.
What were their names?
My oldest brother was called Steve. He was baptized Steve Hisao.
Oh, nice.
And my sister was Emiko.
Emiko, I have a friend named like that. There you go.
And she was named Helda or Margaret, her baptized name.
Oh, nice.
And me, I'm the middle one. And my name was Taeko, my Japanese name, and I was baptized Claire.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Oh. So when did you move to Toronto?
Gee, that's big. We were first put into Hastings Park because we had to vacate our premises.
Oh, yes.
And that was something because some people came, I don't know who it is, but one Hakujin person threw a smoke bomb on
really?
our house. And then we thought the government's going to take us put us somewhere. And Hastings Park was the first place that they put us. But Hastings Park wasn't all that good because people got stomachache from food and that, you know. But after that, our friends were they said, "Oh, let's go to Slocan." So my dad says, "Okay, we'll go to Slocan." So that's how we went to Slocan. And Slocan, we lived in a tent until they built the house. And after the house was complete, we had to share, had to have 6 people, so we shared it with another family. We were not to school or anything, but then at Slocan we had to work to eat. So I got a job from Mr. and Mrs. Hicks. They had a store, and my other girlfriend, Kana Ono, she worked for Mrs. Hicks in a dry goods store, and I kept the house. And they had 2 daughters. They were just a little wee kids yet.
Why don't you tell them about the movie that was made?
Huh?
Why don't you tell them about the movie that
Which
was
movie?
made?
Which movie?
The War Between Us.
Oh, I had a book called War Between Us, so I can't find it.
No, but tell them the story about that.
Have you read that?
I don't think I have.
Oh, it's about Kana, Mr. and Mrs. Hicks' daughter. After Mr. and Mrs. Hicks, I'm not very good at telling stories.
That's all right.
Not about it.
Well, it was based on the main characters were talking about, well, I guess it was Kana, right?
Yeah.
And what happened in internment. And it was made into a movie.
Yeah, that was made into a movie, and the granddaughter of Mr. and Mrs. Hicks came out and talked to Kana and myself, and they made it called War Between Us. And it was mostly about Kana, because she looked after them first, and then she was working for Mrs. Hicks in the store, so she asked me if I would look after the house, so that's what I did.
How old were you when you worked with Mrs. Hicks?
About 19 or 20, I think. I'm not too sure now.
Yeah, so right around our age, huh?
Yeah.
But Mr. and Mrs. Hicks were very nice people.
Yeah.
They didn't think the war was right.
Yeah.
They were very nice to Kana and me. And Kana used to play tricks on Mr. Hicks on Christmas time.
Yeah,
He would
nice.
fill the wine or whiskey bottle with black tea and give it to him as a Christmas present. And he was so happy that, but he didn't know that he couldn't buy liquor in Japanese. But anyways, he was happy, and Kana started to laugh, and then he knew that Kana was up to something. But those are the few things, you know. What else can I tell about?
Well, after you worked for Mr. and Mrs. Hicks, what did you do after that?
Well, after we were still working for Hicks when all the people started to move out of Slocan, and we heard they were making good money. But so my dad says, well, we can't be staying in this little town. So my brother was interned, so he says, well, let's go. We went to the commission and put our name in for Ontario. And they, well, it wasn't too bad. There was 2 families, us and another family that came out. And Mr. Duncanson, he was a brigadier general. And my sister got a job as a like my dad wants to keep us three together. So I got a job as a cook, which I couldn't cook that good. But my sister was sort of a maid, and my dad was a handyman, kept the property clean, and that's where I first learned that people have cocktail parties.
Yeah. So that was at the Governor General's mansion.
Yes, very nice. Yeah, and I couldn't. Well, I don't know how they liked my food, but I was just a meat and potato lady. Well, anyway, they treated us quite nice. And then my brother came up from internment, and we wanted to live together. So I put my notice in and said, well, we like to be together because we haven't seen our brother for 4 years. And Mr. Duncan was very nice about it. Mr. Duncan says, anytime you're in trouble, just come to us and we'll try to fix it for you. So they were very nice to us.
That's sweet.
Yeah. And then we found a little house on Grant Street. In those days, we didn't have a house. We just had rooms. So we rented two room, I think. It was one bedroom and one kitchen. And from there, I went to work at the factory. And my sister went to work in a hat factory where you make ladies.
Oh, wow.
There. She was very good at that.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, eh?
Yeah, and she used to put all these flowers for spring hats. And she used to
Wow.
make straw hats.
Oh, wow.
That's nice.
It's a lot of like dexterity and yeah.
But she was very good, and they liked her. They were Jewish people, and they were very nice. And I worked in a pants factory where you measure men's pants and all that, and put special machine, put buttons and stuff like that.
Wow.
And that's how we earned our money.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I got married to Joe. And
What year was that?
huh?
What year was that?
1951,
Wow.
and you came in 1953.
How did you meet Joe?
Joe, he was with a bunch of boys like my brother and all that Japanese friends.
Yeah.
And he was one of them. And he used to come to the house, and he used to take me out. So he was going with a Hakujin lady, but his mother didn't approve of it.
Yeah.
So he started to go out with me, and he took me to dancing, and and picnic and stuff like that, Then he asked me if we wanted to marry him. So we got married. Well, then we traveled in a little prefect car all over the states
Oh, wow.
for a honeymoon.
Nice.
What was your favorite state you went to?
Oh, I can't remember it all, but we went to, first we went to Niagara Falls, and then we stopped down south.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many places we went, but it was different from Toronto. It seems some were big and some are small.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, but we enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah, no, that sounds like so much fun.
And we took our time,
Yeah.
So after that, we went to live with his parent, his mother. His father was already dead, and he had one sister, one brother, and me, and Joe, and his mother. So we all lived together in one house.
Oh, wow, that's so much fun, eh?
Well, I wouldn't say it was fun. You know how Japanese you have to live together for a while.
Yeah.
I lived with them for 5 years, and we got along a little better. But then the boys started to come, the babies. So the Joe says, well, we'll buy a house. And at that time, there was a bungalow coming up, and it was only $12,000 down for the for a house.
Wow.
Yeah, so we got that house and we lived in it. And Joe was working for Exide Battery.
Oh wow.
And I think he put in about 45 years there.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
It's a long time, right?
he worked for the optical place first, but he thought about it was no future in it, he thought. So he changed to Exide Battery. And he was a draftsman.
Oh, wow. That's impressive, huh?
He's pretty good. And the bosses liked him. So he went up until he was superintendent. But I don't know how much more to tell.
Well, you can tell whatever you'd like to.
Well, you had 3 sons, right?
Pardon?
You had 3 sons total?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are their names? I know one of those.
Yeah.
Well, there's Ken, the eldest,
Yeah.
and Wayne, the second one, and Douglas, the third one.
Yeah. Are they all close in age, would you say?
Pardon?
Are they all relatively close in age?
About 3 years apart. Uh-huh.
It's pretty close, yeah. It's like me and my brother.
And so are they all here in Toronto?
Ontario.
Ontario.
Not Toronto, is it? Wayne.
Wayne's in just east of Sarnia, and Douglas in Newmarket.
Yeah.
You live in Barkham.
Well, you told me one of your sons did music.
That's Wayne.
Yes.
He
Well,
loves
what
to
kind of
play.
music do they do?
What kind of music would that call it?
It's gypsy jazz.
Plays the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know about music, but he was pretty good.
Yeah. Did he perform a lot of places?
Well, now he does, doesn't he?
Well, before, when he was living here, he used to perform at the Toronto Jazz Festival
Oh, wow.
and various clubs and venues around the city. But since he moved out to Forest, he just gets together with some local musicians and plays,
Nice.
whatever they can put together. And
He still play music with this bunch, like the Hastings Falls, you know. And they played in Scarborough Town Centre once.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And they go all over now. They get a little bit of notice when people want them to come and play for them because he doesn't charge that much.
Yeah.
So he gets called once in a while. But these are a little bit older men.
Yes.
So but he asked if he could come and play here. I said, not your kind of music.
Oh, really?
We would love to see him here, right?
But was Japanese. I watch Japanese while listen to the music here, but they don't seem to have the what you call those jazz stuff. It's always either slow music or Japanese music or not that kind of music that Wayne plays. Now he has about 3 or 4 people playing with him.
Oh, wow.
One plays accordion, and 2 of them plays guitar, and one of them plays violin, and there's Wayne, he plays a guitar, and they form. He gets called now and again, and they go out to play Toronto or he'll go out and play. Yeah, plays is what they call him.
That's awesome.
You should bring him down here sometime.
I was gonna say.
So he can play for
I
us.
love it, but I don't think I would be. But he did ask, should I play at Momiji? I said, no, not your kind of music. I have, you met them.
Yeah, I've met a couple of them.
I have 5 great-grandchildren,
5, wow.
4 grandchildren,
Mm-hmm.
2 boys, 2 girls, and he has 5, eh?
Yeah, I would say 5.
Same 5. There are 2 boys and 3 girls.
Yeah.
And he met Rosie.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen 3 little girls.
Yes, very cute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then we have 2 grandsons that live in LA.
Oh wow.
So they only get here maybe once or twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so unfortunately we don't see them all that much.
Rosie is trying to get in there with the sisters, but she's a little bit shy.
She'll get it. I believe in
Yeah.
it. She's already doing it on the sidelines.
She's a bit shy, but until she get to know her,
Yeah.
and then she's our goal.
Yeah. For sure.
She calls Grandma her best bud.
Oh.
That's special, eh?
Yeah, must be
Yeah.
nice.
Or she calls him great. What is Ji-chan? And mother Ba-chan.
Oh.
So I'm a grandma, and her other grandma is what kind? Irish.
Granny. She's
Granny,
Granny and,
yeah.
and Granddad.
And then they're Ba-chan and Ji-chan. It's kind of different.
Yeah, it is, eh?
Well, it must be nice having a big family like that.
Yeah, it's nice. Because we come from a small family.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get together, you will know it's a small family. 'Cause
Yeah.
there are about 19 of us.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like good reunions. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, your kids have a lot of artistic talent and your great grandkids. So do you have any artistic talent, or are you into any painting or dancing?
No, not really.
No?
When I was young, I was always the mother of the house because my parents used to go out to work.
Oh yeah?
And I used to do all the cooking.
Oh, that's a skill, eh?
Yeah.
Well, it's what in my days, everything is right there. You go to the store and you ask for a sashimi, they cut it for you.
Yeah.
And I would go buy some bologna and fry bologna, but I used to make rice.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's awesome.
We had gas stove and pot stove for heating.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's your favorite dish to make?
My favorite?
Yeah.
Well, I remember when my father and my brother and my sister, we used to eat daikon,
Oh, yes.
you know, done in shoyu,
Mm-hmm.
and we hated it, the three
Yeah.
of us. But we didn't have too much money, so my dad says, well, you have to eat them because we haven't got that much money to, feed 3 of us and throw it in the garbage. So for 1 week, I remember he fed us daikon with rice.
Wow.
So finally we got to like it.
Yeah.
You got used to it.
Yeah, he got used to it. Now I eat it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But I grew out of it.
Why don't you tell them about your dad and then how everyone ended up here in Canada?
Well, I don't know much I remember him telling me that he was married before and he had 2 sons, but at the time he went to war, he says, and they came back when they had illness, so the wife and 2 boys died. So there was nothing for him there. So he hopped on the ship, and he told me that first they came to Hawaii,
Oh, wow.
but he looked at the people there that looked like savages, so he didn't know. But he used to buy. He only had a few money, so he bought a great big bunch of bananas for a quarter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they ate that on the way to. Next stop was America, but people in America wasn't very friendly, so he didn't get off the boat. And then last stop was, I think, Vancouver. So he had nowhere to go but get off the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So somehow he got off and he went to logging camp and that.
How did you start living at Momiji?
Oh, my husband, we used to go to the center, and somehow this place was no takers, I guess. Not too many was interested in Toronto because they all had families going to school, and I had 3 boys, so I wasn't going to come here. But Joe said, well, it doesn't cost anything to put your names in, So he put our name in 10 years before. And when they came to call us or let us know, he says, okay, we're not getting any younger, so we should be going into Momiji, because he was getting ill and he wasn't himself. So we came here.